Joining me now is Dr. Sabastian Gorka, former strategist to President Trump, now a Fox Business national security strategist. It's tough, Dr. Gorka, to view that without getting furious. I happen to know, I've known Larry for 30 years now. I knew him when he was in the midst of his drug addiction. The guy was torn apart by it. It was only through religion, through God's will, that he was able to get out of it. And now, we are now in the midst of an addiction crisis in the United States. Larry is a shining example to folks who are stuck in that addiction about how to get out of it through faith, and they're belittling that. It's just beyond the pale.
It truly is, and I'm so very glad you mentioned the importance of faith to people who are in crisis, and people like Larry who survived immense difficulty because of their faith. Look, Miss Rule has just demonstrated yet again what an isolated, irrelevant little bubble she and her colleagues live in. She's just written off most of America. I mean, does she know whichever polling you use, whether it's a left-wing poll or whether it's a more independent poll, the majority of Americans believe in God? Does she know that?
I don't think she does. And as you say, she's in a bubble. People who are in a bubble, particularly those people who are stuck here in New York or inside the Beltway, think that everybody believes as they do. I was thinking back to that wonderful speech that Ronald Reagan gave in the 1980s after the shuttle disaster. The shuttle went down. It was a speech that was written by Peggy Noonan, but the president clearly added to it, working with Peggy to come out with a little poem, or at least a piece of a poem, that referenced God. Let's just play that and get your reaction. Go ahead.
The crew of the Space Shuttle Challenger honored us for the manner in which they lived their lives. We will never forget them, nor the last time we saw them this morning, as they prepared for their journey and waved goodbye and slipped the surly bonds of earth to touch the face of God.
To touch the face of God. I think still, I would love to believe that most Americans would still get goosebumps hearing those words, to touch the face of God.
Well, of course they would, because most Americans agree with every president we've ever had from the Founding Fathers on. I mean, look at the language of our Founding Fathers. Look at the speeches of Truman, of Eisenhower. Look at the fact, I mean, I'd like to know, did Miss Rule lambast or did she make fun of President Obama? Because even President Obama talked about his faith, but strangely, she didn't seem it was worth belittling the Democrat president. But now, one of his appointees believes in God, so that we can target his faith. It's like Hillary writing off 30 million women because they didn't vote for her.
Exactly. Perfect analogy. All right, Andrew McCabe, we got to speak a little bit about him. He has another 24 hours or so before he gets the sentence, which may be a termination, which means he would not get his pension. What do you think about all this?
The stunning thing is that the Office of Professional Integrity at the FBI has also said this man should be fired before he vests for his pension on Sunday. I can't remember the FBI's internal office ever making such a recommendation for somebody at the level of Mr. McCabe. At the end of the day, look, he doesn't deserve to pick up a taxpayer-funded pension, but this man, Andrew McCabe, should be worried about standing in a federal dock charged with felonies for what he did under the Obama administration. So the pension is only one small thing this man has to worry about.
Well, and in effect, that's General Flynn pled guilty to basically the same thing that Andrew McCabe is accused of doing. I think they gave it a fancier term. They didn't say he was lying to federal officials in the case of Mr. McCabe. They say he wasn't being as forthcoming as he could have been, but basically it amounts to the same thing, right?
Well, it does at a very cursory level, but Mr. McCabe was responsible. He signed off on that illegal FISA warrant against a U.S. citizen using an Oppo research file paid for by Hillary Clinton. So his culpability is massive. If he answers for those crimes, then I think we have to reassess General Flynn's situation.
Dr. Sabastian Gorka, great to see you, sir. Thank you for being here. Appreciate it.